Good morning. The State Corporation Commission has granted Dominion Energy permission to bill differently for big electricity users, for example, data centers. The Piedmont Environmental Council called it, quote, one of the most important decisions the SCC has ever faced. For Monday, December 1st, it's your Loudoun Now Morning Minute.
Each week, the Loudoun Education Foundation's Field Program provides weekend meal bags to 2,000 LCPS students and their families. As the need grows this season, please consider helping support your neighbors right here in Loudoun County. For just $30, you can provide meal bags for 10 families. Give at loudouneducationfoundation.org. And thank you.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Rence Green. Dominion Energy will be allowed to handle billing for large energy users differently from the rest of us after a decision last week by the State Corporation Commission, which oversees electricity rates. It's a somewhat technical change to the way the electricity monopoly handles rates. It's a new rate class for customers requesting 25 megawatts or more. Dominion officials have said typically data center users request upwards of 100 megawatts. As I mentioned at the top, this has been a pretty hot topic in some circles, in large part because some people have been worried that people paying electric bills for their homes will end up subsidizing the cost of building out the massive new infrastructure needed to power these data centers. A study by Virginia's Joint Legislative and Audit Review Commission released a year ago found that so far, residential electricity users aren't subsidizing data centers, but that is likely to change as the data centers need more and more electricity. For this new class of large energy users, starting in 2027, when they request a connection, they have to pay a higher upfront deposit, and some of them will have to commit to paying for 85% of the transmission cost and 60% of the cost of generating that energy that they requested, based on how much they requested, whether or not they end up using that much. But the state hasn't gone as far as ordering Dominion to make sure data centers are paying the bills for new infrastructure. In their final order, the SCC panel wrote that it's time to start allocating the costs of projects like that to protect residential ratepayers, but told Dominion to consider that for their next review in 2 years. In an announcement from the Piedmont Environmental Council, President Chris Miller stated, quote, while this decision recognizes that data center demand is driving future expenditures and grants Dominion's request for a new large load class, many issues remain unresolved, end quote. For example, he said, they're disappointed the SCC isn't going to require data centers to pay for the new transmission lines and infrastructure they use. Miller said the Piedmont Environmental Council found billions of dollars in transmission project costs that are currently allocated to all rate classes, even though they only serve data centers. The SEC has also approved increases to rates for the rest of us, as they typically do, although not quite as much an increase as Dominion requested. The approved increase is expected to increase the average residential electric bill by about $13.50 a month by 2027. We spoke to some local leaders about what these changes mean, and you can find all that in the story on our website, so go to loudounnow.com/Morning Minute to check out the whole story. In other news, you might have noticed that houses and rent are really expensive, and especially so in Loudoun. According to data from the county government, the average price for a one-bedroom unit in the county is north of $348,000, while a two-bedroom unit is above $464,000. The county government does offer some price-controlled units, for example through the Affordable Dwelling Unit Purchase Program, but in that case there's a wait list of 434 households, and it can take more than 3 years to work your way to the front of the line. The Loudoun County Board of Supervisors has wondered, well, what if they were just really small? Loudoun County's Affordable Dwelling Unit Advisory Board published a white paper on tiny homes, as directed by the Board of Supervisors. The International Residential Code adopted in Virginia defines a tiny home as less than 400 square feet, excluding lofts. The advisory board said tiny homes could be a helpful tool, but they come with their own challenges. Costs vary dramatically depending on size, design, and construction. The report found an average price of $67,000, but noted that tiny homes are actually 38% more expensive per square foot than other homes. And reading from the report, quote, for tiny homes to be feasible as an attainable homeownership option in Loudoun County based on cost research, land would need to be available at reduced or no cost, end quote. The report suggests the possibility of building them as condos on county-owned land, along with some other considerations, and we've got the link to the full white paper in the story on our website. In their first 2 months, Leesburg's new speed cameras in 3 school zones have issued $53,000 in fines, according to the Leesburg Police Department. These are a $100 fine per ticket, so yes, that's more than 500 tickets. The cameras detect and capture images and video of vehicles exceeding the posted speed limit by 10 miles per hour or more during designated school hours. Fines may be imposed when the school zone speed limit signs are flashing. The cameras are at Balls Bluff Elementary, the shared campus of John W. Tolbert Jr. Elementary and Harper Park Middle Schools, and at Loudoun County High School. And we have yet another new show on Loudoun Now Voice. It's called Local Currency. It's presented by Loudoun Credit Union, and it explores the people and stories behind financial decisions in Loudoun County. Everything from unexpected medical bills to a first car, a child's dental work, home repair, a long-planned vacation, or a loan to get through a tough season. Here's Loudoun Credit Union CEO Michael Falvey on the first episode.
We don't make what Bank of America makes.
Right.
All right. But what we do make, we try to put back into the community. We try to get involved with the educational foundation.
Mhm.
We get involved with the police union. We get involved with a variety of charity. We just made a donation to the ARC, troubles that they're going through. Again, we don't have a ton of money to throw around, but what we do have, we try to put back into the community.
That's at loudounnow.com/voice, or just look up Loudoun Now Voice wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On today's Get Out Loudoun calendar, Morven Park's iconic Davis Mansion is decorated for the holidays, and they're offering guided tours from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. each week, Friday through Monday. Tickets are $16. Kids 17 and under get in free, and you can get tickets on our calendar. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudoun.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, well, this doesn't use that much electricity, but get Dominion Energy to come up with a new rate class for podcasts to tell all your friends, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay, have a great day.